we probably would have asked the same question anyway. Just after you had a chance to digest it, watch some film and everything, just what was kind of your full just evaluation of Michael's performance in the passing game in general?
Yeah, a little bit inconsistent. Obviously, the completion percentage wasn't what we want it to be. I thought there were some spectacular plays that Mike made, and I thought he pressed and turned the ball over too much. That's basically what happened. I thought he made some phenomenal plays. Um, but we got to be more efficient. We're not completing the ball at a high enough rate. That's a good defense. They challenge routes. I thought there were opportunities for some contested catches that I know the wideouts will be working hard to come down with. But, traditionally speaking, against those types of defense, your completion percentage might be a little bit lower than, other types of defenses that you go against. We were throwing the ball down the field and trying to create explosives. That lowers your completion percentage, but certainly, we expect to be a lot more efficient in the pass game. Mike has something to do with that. The protection, all parties involved, myself included, to just be a little bit more efficient. And obviously, we can't turn the ball over. Michael knows that. I thought he pressed a little bit and tried to make some plays in moments where he didn't have to do that. And so we got to correct it and coach it. But I also thought that he made some spectacular plays. Some really quality throws under duress, some great throws down the field. He made some pretty special plays. So we just got to get the bad out of there, and not turn the ball over. Everybody knows that. Michael knows that. Everybody in our building knows that. So you can't beat good teams turning the ball over at the rate that we are. I think we've thrown more interceptions in 3 games than we did the entire year last year. So can't do that. So that's my assessment.
Nick, I know when quarterbacks are struggling or pressing a bit, that a lot of times the tight end can be a great safety blanket. And you guys got the ball to Peyton six times yesterday, and he seems to be playing at a much higher level than he did a year ago. Can you tell me what you like about Peyton so far this year, and what more we might see from him going forward, and the rest of the guys in that room too, for that matter?
Yeah. Well, I think he just had an awesome offseason, and he prepares really hard, practices really hard, so it's no surprise that he's playing well. And I thought he played tough. He's been reliable catching the football. He's had some run after catch. And so, I have a strong relationship with him, having an opportunity to be his position coach a couple years ago. And I think Kevin's done an awesome job with that whole room. And Peyton and Matt lead the way for that group. And they provide a lot of energy, a lot of toughness, a lot of, work ethic. And so no surprise that Peyton had a great game. And we're going to need him. I think your point is well taken. That provides some comfort level for the quarterback, to have some easy throws on the underneath coverage, to have some big targets over the middle of the field, and some guys that are tough to tackle. You get, Peyton's a big kid, and Matt and AJ and all those guys, they're harder to bring down. So I thought they did a nice job, and we need to continue to do that moving forward.
The turnovers, is this something that you're seeing at all in practice, or is this kind of just endemic to the game? And if so, how do you kind of fix it?
To be honest with you, a little bit, yes. I was a little concerned throughout training camp. We turned the ball over too much in camp, and so we've been working on it. We've been emphasizing it, and we need to coach it better, because it certainly was something that we took a lot of pride in, and we still do. But the results are the results. We can't defend that. The numbers are the numbers, and so we need to do a better job. We need to do it in practice. I've seen progress. I've seen improvement. Some of those you recognize in a competitive game. Sometimes that's going to happen, but certainly not at the rate that they have. And so we need to be better. Yeah.
Any gauge on how many times Michael does get forward and plants on that right foot that had the ACL? Is it improved since August and the season has gone along?
Yeah, I've seen progress in the games, just as far as Michael's confidence level in his body. There's no doubt about it. And some of the throws he's not able to plant and finish on his front side. It's just not. You got a huge person right in front of you, you're not able to do that. So I didn't see anything from a physical standpoint that limited Michael Saturday, not at all. I think in the moments where he made poor decisions, he tried to press. It was under duress. He was, in one of them, he was about to get sacked. The other one, he was out of the pocket. He needs to make better decisions in those moments. He knows that, and so we're looking to improve that. But I didn't see anything physically from Michael, favoring one side or the other or not able to trust his body. I didn't see that at all. I thought he hung in there. He made some tough throws under duress. He pulled the ball down on a scramble on the sideline, took a shot, popped up, pulled the ball on a 3rd and 1, ran for a first down, and slid and got down. I mean, I thought he played quarterback in many clips the way that we expect him to. It's just in those moments you can't do that. You can't turn the ball over like we did. And obviously it was very costly in the game, and we're looking to improve on that, and we know Mike will.
Hey, Nick. So Stephen Carr had 2 receptions in this game. Prior to Saturday, he only had 1. Is that something you look to incorporate more into the offense going forward, kind of getting him out of the backfield and serving as a check down, maybe to help Penix when he's under pressure?
Yeah, that's always, when you're talking about throwing the ball to the back, if you release the back and they pressure and they cover the guy, there's nowhere for the QB to go. Sometimes you keep the back, and if you're, in protection, and he's got to block the guy that's blitzing. So the style of defense that they had, they have pretty tight coverage on the underneath routes. That's kind of how their structure of their defense is. I think there's opportunities for the quarterback to find the check down. I think they're there. There weren't that many of those in the game, but there were a handful where I thought we could have done a better job of finding the back on a check down. And certainly Steven's a part of that group. I think Steven's a good pass catcher, runs good routes out of the backfield, can catch the ball in advance. So we're trying to find ways to have easy completions, but when you play a team that plays tight coverage, they're not out there. You got to win versus tight coverage. You got to throw the ball accurately. You got to protect the quarterback for a long enough time to allow the routes to develop. And then when you got guys on you, you got to make the play. That's just what it is in this conference, and against a team like we played Saturday, there's going to be tight coverage. And so we'd love to just everybody run 5 yards, stop, turn around, and throw the ball to those guys. It doesn't always present itself that way, especially against the style of defense that we played this past week, and a lot of the styles of defense that we play. But we need to complete the ball at a higher rate. Tight ends, running backs, wideouts, everybody collectively. Quarterback's obviously a big part of that. Myself putting together the plan with Coach Hurd and the rest of the staff, making sure that we have some easy completions for the guys to get in a groove and be more efficient than we've been.
We kind of asked you about this, I think, after Iowa, but in terms of maybe the more intangible parts of Mike's game, finding his comfort, his rhythm, and you talking about sort of figuring out what gets him in that rhythm, do you feel like both you and he are kind of getting closer to that, to sort of finding even just the little things that can get his timing down, can get his confidence down, that maybe it's not something physical so much as mental?
I think we're closer. I think there was progress made Saturday. The nature of the defenses that we've gone against, they're doing everything in their power to not make you comfortable, right? And so that's the balance, and sometimes we did a good job of that. Sometimes we didn't, but I think getting Mike into a groove and in a rhythm, there's a lot of factors that go into that. The situations that arise in the game, trying to stay out of 3rd and longs, not having to rely on just pure drop back pocket passing. I thought we did some of that in the game on Saturday, and I thought it was helpful. I thought it provided some easier completions, and you're going to have to continue to do that. The pass rushers that we go against, the defenses that we face, they're challenging. They would love for you to stay 7.5 yards back right behind the center. So we got to make sure that we have a variety of plays to have easy completions for the quarterback. I thought we made progress in that, but certainly not good enough to win.
Coach, it's kind of a follow-up on Michael looks better every time he runs. He seems to have more confidence. He's run, he's slid, he's done some things. You've given him plays to run. In your talks with him, and I know you're not a psychiatrist, but what is it that is not giving him the confidence to look like he has looked at? He should look as a third-year guy. He doesn't seem to have that right now, and I know that you just mentioned there's a lot of things that go into it, but in third year, you would think he would have that confidence. What is he missing?
Well, I think the journey that Mike has had is definitely not typical of a third-year player. Hasn't gone through spring ball other than his first year, and so you're talking about just the path that he's taken. And everybody has their own journey, their own timetable. I think Mike has continued to make progress each and every week. And we've also gone against some really quality opponents here in the first 3 weeks of the season. And so, we're improving each and every day. I think Mike's had a great attitude. He understands. I think if you were to be honest about it and looked at moments in the game on Saturday, we would all recognize that Mike made some special plays. The focus is to eliminate the real bad ones, and that's our challenge. And Mike knows that, and I'm responsible just like Mike is for that. And so we share that responsibility. But I thought, like I said, I thought Mike made some spectacular plays Saturday, just like he has in the past. And so seeing that was encouraging. And now it's making sure that he's not pressing, not trying to do too much, letting the game kind of come to him, me putting him in better positions so that he doesn't feel like he needs to do that, and just executing and playing good, clean football. And if we do that, we feel like we're going to be right where we need to be. So we're working to improve each and every day on that.
You guys have obviously managed to involve DJ Matthews a lot more, especially this past week with the reverses and a couple of the routes getting him downfield. Just how have you seen him progress? What do you feel like he's just brought to the offense in general, and how important is it to continue to get production out of him?
Yeah, it's super important. I think, we didn't complete enough passes to maybe have some of the production from some of the other guys as well. The more balance you have, not just relative to rushing and passing, but just touches and distribution, I think the harder you are to defend. And so, obviously DJ had several catches, big plays, at critical moments in the game. The ball found him. He ran good routes. Mike was able to find him and make good throws. Some of the misdirection type plays were productive and good for our offense. And so you're always trying to find, the spots and the schemes to try to get your best players the ball. DJ's certainly one of them. I think he provides a spark and an energy. He plays his tail off. He cares a whole bunch. For a guy that's only been here as long as he has, he's really just bought into the culture that we've built here, the team concept and the LEO concept. He's all in on that. So I thought he played great. I thought he was definitely a bright spot in the game. We'll continue to try to incorporate him in our offense. And we expect more production from some other guys, and that's my responsibility. I think, like I said, to be more balanced and evenly distributed as far as who's touching the ball and how many times, I think that'll help the quarterback. I think that'll help our offense. And certainly DJ's a big part of that. So I thought he did a great job on Saturday.
Nick, what often gets overlooked in a loss like this is that you guys did keep moving the ball really well, kept grabbing the lead back when you needed to, and you were literally 2 yards away from going up with 8 minutes to go. When you've gone back and watched the film on Tim's fumble, what did you see, and what have your conversations been with him and Coach McCullough about that play?
Yeah, I thought the defender made a nice tackle. I mean, he hit Tim square on the ball. Tim knows this, Coach McCullough. I mean, we can't fumble the football in that moment, but I have full confidence and trust in Tim. It's very easy to second guess, who's in the game and when, but Tim ran extremely hard on Saturday. I thought Tim ran really well. I thought he ran behind his pads, and he had a great week of preparation. And we'll trust Tim again in that situation at any time. So we have no hesitance, any hesitation in putting Tim in that moment. Can't do that. Obviously that was a critical mistake that we made, but we had other opportunities in the game as well, to score points and put ourselves in a position to win. But the defender basically hit him square on the ball, and the ball popped out, and that can't happen in any circumstance, no matter where you're on the field, whether it's the 2-yard line or the 20-yard line. You can't fumble the football. We can't throw interceptions in the red zone. Can't get stopped on 4th and 1. There's plenty of blame to go around for why we weren't able to win the game on Saturday. The thing that I would say is there was a lot of opportunity and a lot of things to be encouraged about, and excited about. We just got to play cleaner. If we did that Saturday, we would have been in the position that we want to be. But those plays count. They're part of the game. You can't just take away the 5 bad plays and say, hey, we did a great job. They're a part of it. And so we need to be better in those moments. And that's one example. And Tim knows that, and we fully expect him to respond the right way and do a great job. Because I thought, aside from that play, I thought Tim played a great game. He ran really hard behind his pads and was real productive for us. All good? Okay, thanks, guys.